What's going on, fam? Good day. I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, I hope everybody's doing well, man. I hope your energy's on point. I hope everybody's well. You know, welcome to everybody, especially to those just joining along. Appreciate all the views and your support, of course. Yeah, much love to the tribe, man. You know, I'm just glad to, be able to connect with y'all and, be able to share what it is that, I come across as I continue to awake, right? And yeah, basically, we came up with this channel to basically to share, because I got tired of talking to deaf ears. It got to the point where I was just talking to walls, fam. So I would share whatever it was that I thought, and people don't know how to deal with that, I had to learn that it's not for everybody. And it used to bother me a lot, but now it comes with the understanding that some of us were meant to understand and some aren't. You feel me? And with that, it came with acceptance, and with that acceptance came with realization. And it caused me to grow. So, no love lost, but at the same time, I can't stop speaking on what it is that I think, or what it is that I know, or what it is that I learn. I'm constantly studying, I'm constantly reading, constantly looking for truth, man. And yeah, fam, I'm just happy to, be a part of the wave with y'all, wherever you guys are at. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning from everyone. Let's not get it twisted, alright? Yeah, so shout out to everybody. I hope everyone's doing well, man. I know y'all probably tripping out from the title. We definitely got a good one for you. Just had to, address a couple of things. And I didn't plan on bringing this presentation out, but as usual, I'm inspired by the tribe, right? Always inspired by the tribe. So I had it for a while, and I just felt like, you know what, I can't sit on it, any longer. And yeah, I just was like, it's time to see what the tribe thinks, put it out there. Let's see how we vibe with it. But before we go there, I want to share with y'all, a little something. Sent out the SF1A1 letter, got it notarized and everything, and I sent it out, as you can see, on the 23rd of February. And I sent it to DC. Now, I didn't go to the Social Security spot to do the SF1A1. I just wrote the letter and I mailed it. And as you can see, they wrote me back, right? And I got it back by the 11th of April. And yeah, they addressed it to me, right? They mailed it out to me. And as you can see, they thanked me for basically updating the status, referring to my ethnicity and race identification in their records. And then they actually applied the SS5 form to the letter that they mailed to me, so that I could take it right in with no problem. As you can see, this is sent by the state. This is from the Social Security Administration itself. Alright? So, yeah, I just had to share that with y'all. You know, it was great news. I'm pretty sure, you know, most that sent it in, if you guys did send it in, you'll be getting your response back sometime soon. Just stay looking forward to it. Yeah, with this piece of paper, not only is it, you know, mailed to you in your name, you know, but it's also printed out so that there's no disputation. You know what I mean? There's no dispute. They can't argue anything against you. You have it assigned by, you know, the Social Security Administration themselves from DC. And as you can see, they've been doing this since 1936. It's completely voluntary, and yeah, you know, they just request race information for research and statistical purposes only. Now, I jumped on this because I saw the brother Dan Calloway. You know, shout out to Dan Calloway. He's been showing a lot of love to what we're doing, you know. And shout out to all the fam, you know, that's following on the Instagram. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all, because, you know, we got to continue to push this no matter where we at, what we're doing. And yeah, I saw the brother's video, you know, how basically they did the evacuation of the so-called Aboriginal people, right? So I mean, that shook me, because not too long after I saw that video, the Census Bureau came down, and you know, they started asking a lot of questions, you know, and it was just interesting to see how quick they got on this, you know, and they were out around, you know, our neighborhood, really trying to figure out what's going on as far as the census, and, you know, snooping around and asking questions. So knowing that evacuation happened over there, it wasn't, you know, too hard for me to figure out something can happen similarly. So getting this situation handled, at least on record, you know, should be able to give us a little bit more time than what, you know, we will be facing, not dealing with proper status and identification. Alright, so yeah, fam, I hope this helps, you know, helps y'all out. And yeah, for those that sent it in, you know what I mean, if you mailed it in already, I'm pretty sure you'll be getting yours back, so just look forward to that. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into it, fam. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, we're dealing with the 12 disciples today, the 12 apostles, whatever you want to, you know, refer to them as. And yeah, we're gonna be breaking them down. Now you see we got all these tabs open, so, you know, we just gonna fly right through it. And I mean, it wasn't too hard to not really, I mean, to let go of the New Testament, you know, awakening to the truth. I was never really held on to it like that, but I mean, to the fact that I can just totally dismiss it in the cases or arguments of other people, I'm just fully 100%. And yeah, I basically did this video to break down even more so my belief on why, you know, along with everybody else's, but we just gonna attack the core. Alright, we just gonna dig into the core of who these 12 disciples are. And yeah, fam, we just gonna break it open. Alright, so just keep up with me. And again, I hope everybody's doing well. You know, much aloha to the tribe. You know, and I hope everybody enjoys this presentation. So with that being said, we're gonna start off with the first one, right? And we have Simon. Now it says that Simon is from the Hebrew, right? Shimon, right? Meaning the hearkening, the hearing, right? From Shama, he heard, right? It says in English, Old Testament is usually printed as Simon, but in New Testament, almost always shown as Simon, right? Confused with Greek proper name Simon, which is from Simos, snub nose. Now, you know, I'm not assuming everybody has the past that I've had, you know, or just the background that I've had, but when I've seen snub nose, that clicked something else to me, right? So, as you guys know, if you've been following my videos so far, whenever I see something that stands out, that's a note to me from the Most High that I need to dig, right? So I bring out my shovel, right? So, you know, we check it out. And we got snub, right? To snub is to ignore or refuse to acknowledge someone. If you want to snub your former best friend, you can refuse to even look at her when you pass in the hallway. It means to plunder, stray, ignore, or parcel, right? It says when you snub someone, you deliver an insult by pretending to not even notice someone that you know. Alright? It says your former friend probably noticed the snub and she'll probably snub you from now on. Snub also means very short, like the nose on a bulldog. Right? My bad, man. So yeah, snub also means very short, like the nose on the bulldog. Alright? So at the bottom, unusually short. A snub nose, right? Short, primarily spatial sense, having little, excuse me, having little length or lacking in length. Snub, right? Snub, very short, like the nose on the bulldog, right? And this is the etymology on Simon, snub nose. So we get snub, right? Now mind you, when I first saw the snub nose, I was used to this, right? Like straight up. In my vocabulary, this is what a snub nose means to me, right? But nonetheless, we're talking about the nose, right? Now it says rebuff, ignore, spurn disdainfully, check the movement of a horse or boat, especially by a rope wound around a post, right? An act of showing disdain or a lack of cordiality by rebuffing or ignoring someone or something. Then it says of a person's or animal's nose, short and turned up at the end. Alright? And I mean that stood out to me a lot, man, because I'm like, whoa, you know, we're getting very specific on Simon, right? From snub nose. And this is one of the 12 apostles, 12 disciples, right? The first one they gave us. So I see snub nose and I'm like, man, right? So we basically dug on the word, right? The definition. So here's the bulldog, right? Alright. Now it said snub also means very short, like the nose on the bulldog, right? So this is what we're here for. We're digging on the bulldog, right? Very, very short nose. Alright. It says the bulldog is a breed with characteristically wide head and shoulders, along with a pronounced mandibular prognatism. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. So it seems like under, or what they would call an overbite, right? It looks like it in some form. I'm not too sure though, right? It's dealing with the jaw. Notice how this is also affected into people, right? As we see, right? I mean, we got here from a bulldog, and they're showing us in reference to human heads, right? So yeah, right. It says there are generally thick folds of skin on a bulldog's brow, round, black, wide-set eyes, a short muzzle with characteristic folds, short muzzle, right, with characteristic folds called a rope or nose roll above the nose, hanging skin under the neck, drooping lips and pointed teeth, and an underbite with an upturned jaw. Alright? Of a person's or animal's nose, short and turned up at the end. Alright? And we're talking about the bulldog, right? So the bulldog is said to have the snub nose, right? You see the face, right? And you see the brow, right? Mind you, this is Simon we're talking about. Right? So if y'all been following along, again, I've been digging on these Canaanites being dogs, right? And we saw how the medicine man basically kicked open the gate. You know, now, if you've been following my series, you've been seeing how I've been basically throwing shots at that, right? Like, I was leading us into that. I kind of basically came across the same information, right? Dealing with these dogs and these Canaanites, right? So, yeah, it's trippy, right? So we're gonna continue to push on. It said Semos, right? Semos. They said Semos meant snub nose. Semos, right? So I put in Semos and Simeon came up, right? You see Simon right there, right? So Simeon, characteristic of monkey or apes. Simia, it means ape. From Simus, snub nose. Simos, snub nose, like the Scadians, right? Or the Scythians, however you want to call it, right? Also a masculine proper name of unknown origin, pertaining to monkeys. The noun meaning an ape or monkey. Alright? So if you've been really following along in my series, you know that this information is linking up, right? But we're digging on what? The 12 disciples, right? Of this New Testament, right? That's who we're talking about, the 12 apostles. And it's telling us right here that Simeon from Simos, right? When we looked at Simon, it says Simos, right? So we checked out Simos and it gave us Simeon. And this is what Simeon is. A monkey or an ape. A snub-nosed ape. Alright? This is Peter. Right? It says Peter in verb form means to cease or to stop. Right? Peter, it says here, it literally means stone or rock. Right? Translated as stone. Nickname Jesus gave to the apostle Simon Bar-Jonah, historically known as Saint Peter and consequently a proper name among Christians, right? It's the slang for penis, right? I mean, think about stone, right? Stones and stone, right? Alright, now, I mean, you can say what you want, but they get pretty perverted with their slick terms, right? And it's normally, especially when they use it, right? They use it amongst themselves, right? And they know exactly what they mean when they say it and how they say it, alright? I mean, you don't have to take my word for it. It's out there already, right? You just do the research. Alright? But this is what they say. It means stone or rock. Alright? Peter means stone or rock. Now, it's crazy that the other one gave us apes, right? And monkeys, right? And monkeys and apes normally live near stones or rocks, right? Are y'all following along, fam? Y'all see this? Alright. So, again, we're touching on these 12 apostles, right? Now it says Simon is also called Peter. So this is why we're digging on Peter. Alright. And it's crazy because, I mean, I just thought about it right now, but when you think of the word pedophile, right? I don't know. Like, I know they put a D in there, but it's Peter. I don't know. But here's stone, right? It says made of stone, right? It says blind, right? Literally blind as a stone, stone deaf, stone cold, right? It says to pelt with stones, right? To free from stones, right? And then here we got rocks, we got precious gems, we got concretions in the body, right? We got memorial stones, right? We got stone, we got to thicken, stiffen, we got curdles, we got becomes hard, right? We got heap, we got fat, tallow, pebble, right? stone, right? So this is the etymology on stone, right? And then it says right here, sense of testicle. It's from the late 14th century. Alright? Originally a specific stone. Alright? So, again, keep this in mind when we're talking about these names. Because this is the perversion, fam. Like, this is where they perverted it, right? Next we have Andrew. Right? Andrew. It says from the Latin Andreas. Right? A personal name equivalent to Andreos, right? Manly, masculine, of or for a man, right? Strong, stubborn, right? From aner, right? Andros, right? Man, right? And then it says, see, anthro, or what? Anthropo, right? And then it says it's nearly equivalent to Charles, right? And it's slang for government authority, especially the Royal Navy. Alright, so let's see what else we can get, right? Because we know it means man, right? So what did they take from this and how did they corrupt it? You feel me? Because if you're dealing with something that was originally man, what's going on, right? So it says to see anthropo, right? It says anthrop, right? Word forming element meaning pertaining to man or human beings. See that? Man or human beings. Right? Man, human being, including women, as opposed to the gods from andra, genitive andros, right? Man, as opposed to a woman, a god, or a boy. Alright? Man. Also vigorous, vital, strong. See andro. Right? It says anthrop sometimes is explained as a compound of aner and ops, genitive ops, eye, face. So literally, he who has the face of a man. Alright? He who has the face of a man. Now, considering what we just saw, right, with the Brother Lex Will and the Medicine Man, right, dropping what they dropped, right, who would have the face of a man, right, with an eye as the face, right? Andro, meaning man, male, right, masculine, right? A man or a male, right? As opposed to a woman, a youth, or a god, right? A man, a vigorous, vital, strong, right? It says it is equivalent to the Latin ver, or viril, right? And later used equivalent to anthropos, Latin homo, a person or a human being. Right? So they took man and they took that and made it into a human being, right? According to their definition, right? It says, and the compounds in it often retain its genderless sense, right? Androcephalus, having a human head, said of monsters, including a sphinx, which in Greece was female. Alright, now the medicine man's been going to work, right? I also saw a little something that basically put the pieces together, you know. The bro teach, right? Drop the lesson on Hathor, right? And Hagar, right? And the mistress of the West and the universe and all that, right? The goddess, whatever she was called, right? I suggest y'all go check that, right? Check out everything he mentioned in there, right? And then line up everything that the medicine man has been able to throw at us, right? According with the little bit that I dropped in my Canaan series, right? Because I basically hinted at this too. And I mean, peep this out. Alright. We're talking about andro, alright? So it meant man, right? Vigorous, vital, and strong, right? And after the overthrow, they made it equivalent to this word right here, right? And it took on something new. Here it says androcephalus, right? It says having a human head upon an animal's body, like the Egyptian Sphinx. Alright, so yeah, fam, I mean, again, as we're coming across this information, I'm gonna continue to stress that we stay in unison. Alright, the less we take shots at each other, the less ridiculous we look when we end up finding out that a major percentage of our brothers and sisters actually had a portion of their story correct. You feel me? I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, you get people who present things and then, you know, somebody quickly comes and knocks them for it. But if we just accumulate all this info together, right, and we all take pages from the chapters that we each present, right? I mean, we are all in classrooms, right? Shout out to the fam, right? We are all in classrooms, right? So if we're not taking the most from these lessons, combining them and creating a super encyclopedia of information that was never written or presented or distributed to us by any means necessary in any institution of so-called educational systems, what's the purpose, fam? Now, I'm not trying to rant, you know what I mean? I got a hob for each and every one of y'all because I've been waiting for this awakening, alright? I've been waiting, fam. I had this feeling since I was young, right? And I'm not old, but I can still retain my youth, right? I still remember my fresh years, right? And I knew something about our generation was marked. So I just think that if we continue to stay together, right, and just learn, fam, you know what I mean? Learn, right? Take what our brother or sister is offering, right? Our brethren, right? Our congregation, take what they're offering, right? Our assembly, right? The tribe, and put it together. Because it's ridiculous to have these things be brought out just for them to be proven by someone else that was unbiased from the start. Alright? So we're gonna carry on. Alright, so next we got James. Now, James is said to be the alter form of Jacob. right? So now we know when we hear James, it's the corrupted form of Jacob for that New Testament, right? Because they know Jacob in the Old Testament applies to you. So they had to create a new, right? See how they dropped this May 1st right here? Right? Now, May 1st is a certain day for them. Alright? Y'all can go ahead and look that up. That's a certain day for them. And every year they do something extreme, right? Every May 1st they try to do something extreme or something radical. I even think that during Obama's term, Osama's death, bin Laden that is, was announced on the May 1st, right? So again, James is a altered version of Jacob. Alright, so when you hear James, just think of Jacob with the hijack, right? It's been hijacked, right? And then we got John, right? Now the fams have been doing too much drop on John, right? So I'm not gonna spend, too much time here at all, right? It is funny how they have the reference for the toilet right here, right? And then they even have a prostitute's customer, right, referred to as a John, right? You also got the Jakes, right? Just think that that's funny, right? So, yeah, you saw how the fam broke down, we went through this already, right? And, John and Peter seem to go hand in hand, right? With, at least on their terms. And here we have Philip, right? We're digging, right? Philip. Let's see. Alright, so we got Philip, right? Now it says Philip is to be fond of horses, right? Be loved or loving, from the philo, hippos, horse. See, a queen, right? Or equine, right? It says any two common men, right? Philip and Shani, right? Philip means fond of horses, from the philos. Alright? So from philo, we get the word phil, right? Meaning loving, fond of, tending to. Dear, friend, to love. So we're reading that Philip means to have this weird, deep, strange, beloved connection with the horse, right? Right? I mean, we've been dropping jewels all over this mug, right? Because you remember the forelock, right? When we were dealing with the locks and weaves, right? They tried to say that the locks meant the forelock, right? And when we looked up the forelock, it showed you a forehead of hair like that of a horse. Alright, and here you have Philo from Philip telling you that it's fond of horses, right? As the 12 apostles, right? Philip. We're going in order, right? So, yeah, a deep, dear love or friendship to love horses. Alright, and we can only imagine in ancient Greek what kind of relationships we're talking about, right? And the queen, right? Of a horse, of horses, of horse hair, equus, right? Horse, right? Horse. So we're talking about horse, right? Now, what creature, man, you know of that can relate to this? Right? Mind you, we're talking about the so-called 12 disciples and the etymology of their name. You know, I don't know about y'all, but I know a lot of people with these names. Right? And they throw the twist on them so sick. It's crazy, right? But all of this is attached to them. And as you see, they're different animals. Right? So these are the animals or the tribe that I believe of the animal that they belong to. Right? Because we've been dealing with different animals. But we're going to continue, right? It says Bartholomew. Right? Bartholomew. See? Bartholomew, right? Says that it is from the Aramaic Talmai, literally son of Talmai. Right? Or Talmai. Abiding in furrows. Abounding in furrows, I mean. It's also one of the 12 apostles. His festival is August 24th. On this date in 1572 took place the massacre of the Protestants in France. Right? Abounding in furrows is what Bartholomew means, right? Abounding in furrows, living, right? Abounding is living, right? That's your home. So what is a furrow? A furrow is to plow, make furrows, right? To make wrinkles in one's face, brow, right? Furrow, right? Now that sounds like Pharaoh, doesn't it? It says it's a trench in the earth made by a plow. A trench, a hole, right? It says a dig, a tear out, right? A dig out, a dugout, a furrow. A ridge between two furrows, right? A trench, a narrow trench or channel. Like a dugout for baseball. Right? Those who are aware of baseball, I hate to use the analogy, but a dugout is a furrow. It's a ditch. Right? When they show you war movies and the soldiers go and create trenches, right? They create trenches in the earth, right? In the dirt to stop bullets from penetrating them, right? From when they're trying to, you know, make their way in, right? They have to set up on the shore, on the coast, right? And normally they make trenches to shield themselves from the bullets, right? So we're talking about pharaohs, right? Now, mind you, it said to make wrinkles in one's face or brow, right? And earlier we were talking about the Scythians of the Scandinavians, right? I want to show you these real quick, fam, since we were talking about the weird noses, right? Let's check out the faces for a bit. Right? Pharaohs, right? Said to make wrinkles in the skin, right? To make wrinkles in one's face, brow, etc. Right? Pharaoh, right? Alright. So, says channel, right? A channel is a bed of running water. A bed of a watery way, tube, pipe, gutter, groove, channel, water pipe, right? Sea canal, right? Convey in the channel, right? Channel, right? Groove, right? And that's from Pharaoh, right? It says narrow trench or channel. Groove, make a groove, cut a channel in, right? When you groove something, like an engraving, right? You take a utensil and you engrave it into something, right? Now, groove is dealing with a cave, mine, pit, or dug in the earth. From Scandinavian, right? Pit says brook, riverbed, right? A ditch, right? A pit, hole, ditch, grave, pit, cave, right? Especially as a cut by a tool, right? So this should be sounding familiar if you've been following along, right? With everything that I've been dropping, right? Because this is just leading us to more proof, right? More just concrete evidence, so that, you know, all of these facts that we're, you know, accumulating is affirmative. Groove, right? Grave, right? From channel, right? From Pharaoh, right? From furrow, right? From Bartholomew. Alright, fam, this is Bartholomew's name. Alright, so abounding in graves, living in graves. Bartholomew. Alright. Next one we got is Thomas, right? Of Aramaic origin and said to mean a twin, right? Refers to Thomas as called the twin. His name means twin, alright? It says, before the conquest found only as the name of a priest, but after 1066, one of the most common given names in English. Before the conquest. Alright. Twin. Twin. Consisting of twofold, double, 2 by 2, double. Double twin, twinling, says two. It means double, right? Two each. It says also to combine two things closely, join, couple. Alright, so this sounds like a hijack of Levi, right? I mean, if you're gonna ask me straight up, this sounds like they just tried to, hijack the tribe of Levi by name of Thomas, right? The name of a priest, right? That would be Levi, right? I don't know. Next we have Matthew, right? From Old French, Matthew, right? Or Matthias, right? A contraction of Matthias from Hebrew Mathiah. Look at this. Look at that, right? Now it says it means gift of, what's supposed to be of the Most High, right? And it means gift, right? But dig on that. Because if that's the incorporation of the word, right? If this is what the word means, then simply we can dig on this, right? On Heya, right? Simply we can dig on Heya, can't we? Heya, right? I mean, somebody let me know I'm not, I'm not out there talking to a wall. You feel me? Man. Right? Now, I'm not gonna lie, fam. I didn't see this right here before. I didn't catch that. Alright? So, this is gift, right? The etymology on gift, that which is given, right? From a Scandinavian source. Gift, Egypt, right? Egypt, right? Y'all see that? Egypt. You feel me? Egypt, gift, good luck, right? It says, it means gift or dowry, right? Dowry, right? To give or receive. Habit, right? Poison. Poison. Like poison. Nah, I'm just playing. But, I mean, poison, that's what we're talking about, right? For real. So, yeah, fam, it also says in the sense of a natural talent, right? Inspiration, power miraculously bestowed. Alright, as in the biblical gift of tongues. You see the switch? A gift and only in the sense of bride price marriage gift, right? So they're still stuck on the dowry, right? So, poison. Alright? You got Egypt here, right? Sounds like Egypt, right? And Matthew is from the Hebrew version, right? And we see his name, right? Alright. So we're gonna carry along, fam. Again, I hope everybody's doing well out there. I hope y'all following along. We knocking these disciples out the water. And hopefully after this, we never hear about these guys again. You know what I mean? Never. Alright? Again, it's for the tribe, Shalom out there to everybody. Alright? This is Thaddeus. Alright? Thaddeus, right? It says Thaddeus is from the Talmudic Hebrew today, or today, or titty. That's really what they meant to say, to be real. They want to say today or tade, you know, them titties. They trying to be funny, right? But look, check it out, right? Tahea, right? Then it says breast, right? It says the Greek English lexicon of the New Testament suggests the sense might be large-hearted, right? Hence courageous in the Bible, right? Now, I don't know. Maybe somebody else would have read that and they would have been perfectly fine with it. You know, they would have been like, oh, okay, I got it. But to me, I was like, nah, this shit was the most awkward thing I can read, right? Dealing with a name like Thaddeus, and then for it to turn into something like today, right? And then for it to have an Aramaic heya, and then it stems back to breast. I said, this is blasphemy, right? Blasphemy, right? Blasphemy. I had to go against this, right? So I dug and I said, this is something hidden right here, right? I mean, my mind, my body is telling me blasphemy, right? To rebuke this shit, right? So let's dig. Breast, right? It says breast is bosom, mind, thought, disposition. Breast, right? Perhaps literally swelling. Keep this in mind, fam. Swelling, right? To swell, to sprout. Having a broad, strong chest. Alright? Swelling. Alright? And again, we're talking about Thaddeus. Right? My bad. So, from the word breast, we got swelling, right? Tumor. A tumor is a swelling condition of being swollen. A tumor means to swell. Alright, so we just read that breast literally means swelling. Right? And to all my sisters out there, I mean, no offense. You know, I'm just going to, you know, across some shit because I'm over here like, man, why are we reading this up in Thaddeus, right? But again, we're dealing with perversion. And what other way to pervert something like this, right? So we're dealing with swelling, right? The swelling condition of being swollen. A tumor means to swell. So when you get a tumor or a swelling and then that lump forms, you get where I'm going? The lump forms, right? A swelling. A sprout, right? Tumor. So let's dig, right? Neoplasm. Neoplasm is an abnormal growth of tissue which, if it forms a mass, is commonly referred to as a tumor or tumor. A tumor or tumor. This abnormal, right? This abnormal growth, neoplasia usually, but not always, forms a mass. Right? It says right here, malignant neoplasms are simply known as cancers and are the focus of oncology. Y'all see this? Alright? This is what we're dealing with. The swelling. Alright? And this came from Thaddeus. Right? This is in his name. Alright? Judas. Right? The biblical betrayer of Christ. Right? And you see that his name stems from Judah. So this is the hijack, right? He was supposed to have red hair. I mean, bam, right? We already know this bullshit, right? It says Judas priest as an exclamation in place of Jesus Christ, right? It says supposedly was the type from which Judas tree supposedly was the type from which Judas hanged himself, right? And then you have the Judas goat, right? The Judas goat. Keep in mind though, fam, real quick, right? Neoplasm, right? Neoplasm. Let's check this out real quick, right? Because I just thought about this, right? Neoplasm. All right. Plasma, right? Now this would be like that jellyfish, right? In a sense, right? Plasma, right? I mean, it says the colorless fluid part of blood, right? Lymph or milk in which corpuscles, right, or fat globules are suspended. I'm not gonna even try to act like I know what this shit means, right? For real. I mean, I know some things, but to read this and act like I know what I'm talking about, it's not gonna work, right? But really quick, man, go back, right? When we go to images, right, it's giving us this, right? All of this shit, right? And all of this, right? And it just made me think real quick. Yeah, see, he knows, right? I mean, what are we looking at, right, fam? I don't know, but maybe we can save this for a different time, right? But I don't know, that stuck out to me, cause you know, plasma, right? Alright, we'll come back to that. So yeah, we was digging on this Judas goat, right? Just Judas goat. Now, I don't know why they added the goat, but I ran with it. Alright, fam? So, if you've been seeing how we've been linking everything up, you know that goat stood out, right? So we go to it, and we got goat, right? Old English gat, right? She goat, right? We get she goat, which means young goat, right? Words to play for kid, right? The word for male goat is buck, right? He goat, she goat, right? It's dealing with a Latinius man, right? It's also dealing with a prostitute, right? It also deals with the female penundum, right? So goat is dealing with all of these things, right? But dig this she goat, right? Now this is from Judas. She goat, alright? A capella. A bright northern star, the alpha of the constellation Agaria, right? Or, I'm sorry, Auriga. I don't know how I said that. Auriga, right? Capella, literally, little she goats, right? A diminutive of capra, she goat, right? Of caper, goat, right? Little she goat, right? Y'all feeling me? Bright northern star. Little she goat. Capella, right? It says it is the brightest star in the constellation of Auriga. All right. It says its name meaning little goat. All right. Its name is dealing with little goat. And as you can see, it's even dealing with right? My bad, I didn't want to click that. Red giant, right? Red dwarves, right? And it said that Judas had red hair, right? It says a red clump star, all right? So yeah, this is from Capella, right? And that came from she goat, right? Or goat, which was the Judas goat, right? We got she goat, right? And then from there we went to Capella. Right? So we see from Capella, we got this, right? So when you Google it, right? Wait, hold on, fam. Alright, so yeah, when you Google it, this is what we get, right? And they say this is the star, right? This is supposed to be the star, right? Star Capella, right? So this is something to do with astrology, right? So he said it would be somewhere right here, right? And all this stuff. Right? But when you go here, Capella goat, right? This is what you get. Now, what is this looking like, fam? Alright? What is this looking like, fam? Y'all see what I see? The gold star, right? Yeah. Somebody let me know something, alright? Much love to y'all. I'll be getting at y'all soon. I got another one coming soon. Until then, you know, stay humble. Get back to the Creator. Keep pushing this autochthonous, indigenous truth, right? Shout out to the fam. I hope everybody's doing well. Shalom.